they're part of this team that's maybe like, it's not even fun to go start a series over there. You guys haven't done it.
It's different. Yeah, it's different. I think our guys are they are taking the challenge and they're embracing it. You know, they feel like, okay, you know, we don't have home court for the first time, but we seem to be at our best when we are threatened. That's been kind of the MO of this team, and we're definitely threatened. You know, we're on the road for game one. We've never felt that before.
Literally never felt the non-home court team. How about the coaching staff? Is it different? Are you suddenly the attacker instead of the protector? Like, how does that change?
It doesn't change the preparation. It probably changes the mentality a little bit, but it's still the same. You know, it's still the same preparation, and you still game plan, and you still try to get off to a good start and get a win in game one.
Chris Paul really took over in that last game of theirs. What did you see from him in that series, and is anything about the way he's playing at this stage of his career surprise you?
Yeah, I think Chris is the obvious difference in their team. You know, now they've been really good for the last few years, but you know, he gives them a new dimension that they haven't had before. He's a great player, one of the best in the league, you know, future Hall of Famer, and so we have to account for what he does. He's different from James. You know, they attack in different ways, but obviously both ball dominant and very effective with what they do.
How do you describe the difference in their attack?
Chris is more mid-range. You know, it's interesting. You know, Houston has kind of gone to this three-point sort of barrage the last few years, and they're pushing the envelope. But I think Chris has made them better because he's shooting those 15, 17 footers that they didn't have before. It was usually in the past it was all or nothing. They were either attacking the rim or they were shooting threes, and Chris finds those gaps and gives them a different dimension.
Is there an edge that you have to be careful about for a team that obviously you have guys like Chris who's never won a championship before and is incredibly hungry for that versus, you know, a team that's been to the finals three seasons? Is there like an edge factor that you have to watch out for there?
No, I like where we are. Our guys have rings. That's a good position to be in. To me, the hardest championship is the first one as an individual player and as a team, because you don't know. You don't quite know if you can do it. Once you get the first one, there's a little bit of house money, but you want it again because it's an unbelievable feeling. So I like our position. We're going to go in here knowing we're the defending champs, knowing we've got a couple championships here the last few years. Let's go get another one. It's a nice feeling to have and to go into a series with.
Steve, what's your impression of what Chris and Bob Mute and PJ have done for them defensively?
Well, they're better defensively. I thought they had a great offseason. I think they changed their focus, and I think it was smart. They went after defensive-minded guys who were decent three-point shooters instead of great three-point shooters who were decent defenders. You know, and so they balanced the roster out, and they became a better defensive team as a result. And the thing with Bob Mute and PJ is they can switch, and obviously they're switching everything like we do, and so they're much better defensively than they've been in the past, for sure.
Steve, what do you think of what Kevon did earlier this season against Houston? He's really switching out ball screens and picking up guys like Eric Gordon and Chris Paul.
I think Kevon was great. You know, this is a style that he's suited to. You know, we watched all three games against them, and you know, Jordan Bell did a pretty nice job in game one, getting his feet wet, first NBA game, and so we know we've got guys who can switch and guard the perimeter, which is what you have to do against this team.
Steve, made a leap in the last couple of months, and his growth, how much has that changed their dynamic?
Well, he's made a leap over the last couple of years. I haven't, really paid close enough attention to him individually to say whether he has over the last couple of months. But we played them in the conference finals in 15, and he was Dwight's backup, and he got in occasionally, but didn't make much of an impact. And so he's getting better and better, and obviously good modern day big. You know, he just dives and doesn't ask for the ball on the block, and you know, allows James and Chris to do their thing while giving them a lob threat, which gives them more space.
Coach, I hesitate to say they're kind of predictable with their offense, but it's very clear what shots they're looking for. You mentioned Chris Paul kind of mixing it up with mid-range. Can you talk a little bit more about like what that variety brings and what the benefit of that is?
Yeah, you know what's coming against them. I mean, they might disguise some things, but you know what's coming. It's going to be pick and roll over and over again, and they're good at it. And so, yeah, the difference with Chris is that he's going to probe in the paint and shoot a little 10-footer. And, you know, I pictured early in the season, I pictured Daryl Morey cringing on all those mid-range shots. And then maybe about halfway through the year, Daryl went, okay, all right, we'll allow that. He's really good at it. But no, I think it's, I've always believed, you know, it's about good shots. It's not necessarily about how many threes you take. It's about how many good shots you get. And I think Chris is getting them good shots.
Steve, when you play an isolation-heavy team like Houston, is that easy for you guys to simulate in practice, or is it a system that you don't run as much?
You can simulate it, but you know, good luck trying to match what James Harden does and what Chris does. And, but Willie Green did a nice impersonation today. So.
You've spoken so much about defending Harden over the years and the discipline. Do you remind them of that? I mean, we've also talked about this great strides you guys have made defensively the last few weeks. So,
yeah, of course, that's a big part of this series. You know, we have to be very disciplined with our approach. We know that Chris and James are two of the craftiest players in the league. And so if they drive and you want to stick your hand in the cookie jar, then they're going to grab your hand and pull on it, and the ref's going to give them 2 free throws. That's what they've been doing. And you know, there's always that transition that you have to make in every series where you learn the nuances and you pick apart the you know, player tendencies, and so we got to be ready right away. The good thing is, you know, the playoffs in general, refs don't call a lot of fouls. You know, it's very physical. You watched Boston, Philly last night. I mean, hardly any fouls. They let the players go, and I'm very confident that if we are smart and we don't reach, then we're going to put ourselves in great position because you know, it's a risky play when you try to draw a foul and you don't get it. You're very vulnerable in terms of transition defense. So if we can play without fouling, we're going to have a lot of open court opportunities.
Your time in Phoenix with Antoni wasn't too long, but significant, obviously. What did you take away from him, kind of just watching him and the way he ran his team?
I think Mike's strength is that he gives his players great confidence. He did it in Phoenix. He's done it in Houston. A lot of guys have gone and played for Mike and had career years. You think about New York. Jeremy Lin became a player under Mike. So he really empowers his players, and I learned a lot from that. You know, a lot of coaches tend to harp on the negative. Mike's constantly pumping up his guys and pushing the envelope, you know, asking them to shoot more instead of shoot less, and I really admire that approach.
Do you think there's an amount of pride for, not you, but anyone who was involved in those Phoenix teams? I know it's disappointing nobody ever got to the top, but you look at these playoffs, you, Alvin, Steve, I mean, the guys just got hired in Phoenix, just part of those teams. Like, just how impactful it seems those legs.
I know when we won the championship in 2015, Alvin felt really strongly that it vindicated Mike's approach to the game, and I think I've said many times how influential I think Mike was in terms of how the league is played. We're very different, you know, so I don't think we really play like Mike's teams. We run the fewest screen and rolls in the league. They run the most. Where we're similar to those Suns teams is the approach to pace and three-point shooting, and so I think Mike's influence is seen all over the league right now, the way everybody's playing. And I think those people close to Mike, Steve Nash, Alvin, I think yes, there's a sense of, you know, even though we didn't win one, you know, we made an impact, and I take pride in that as well.